Okay, so I'm going to start off this video with something a little bit different. Recently during quarantine, I've been doing a lot of sketching and artwork in my sketchbook. This is my sketchbook right here. It's a corkboard mixed media sketchbook. And here are some of the things that I've done. Hi everyone. It is week 6. We just have 2 more weeks left of this online learning for the school year. So next week we will be wrapping up our units. For juniors, that's your poetry unit, and for sophomores, that will be your dystopian unit. Then on week 8, I'm going to send out just a sort of review of not like the course material that we've done in class, but more of like, I want to know what you thought of the class, what I could improve for my students for next year, anything you want to say to me before moving on to being a junior or a senior, and stuff like that. So it'll be a lot less like, let's learn something this week. It's more like, I just want to know your feedback. So that will be week 8. Next week we will finish up with our units. Another thing, grades for quarter 3 are due this Friday, May 1st. So if you want to make up any assignments last minute or get your grade up just a little bit, just make sure that you're emailing me, asking me what you can do, and I can send that stuff to you, okay? And if you turn it in after May 1st, I'm sorry, but I cannot enter grades. Okay, so it's literally, I have to enter these grades by this time, and the system will lock me out. It will not let me enter any more grades if you turn it in late. Okay, so it must be done by May 1st, otherwise you're out of luck. And I'm sorry, and there's nothing I can do about that. Last thing for community ball, since I've just kind of given up on the whole idea of video calls at this point. I've just been so busy with other things, and then just finding it hard to find motivation, which I think is normal for what we're going through right now. What I'm going to have you do is just fill out a little form for me where you just answer some questions and then just update me on how you're doing, write me a note, that kind of thing, and then I'll respond to you via that instead of us just doing a video call. So if you'd like, you can fill out that form. It is in the PowerPoint that I upload to Teams every week on the first slide. So you just click on the link that it gives you and fill it out. Okay. Okay, so for English 6, what you are doing this week is you are just watching a slam video that is in the PowerPoint in Teams under the COVID-19 folder under Files, and it's labeled English 6 Week 6. Okay, so you're going to watch the slam poem. This one is by Valkyrie. She was a senior at Omaha Northwest High School when she wrote this poem. Or no, she was a junior when she wrote this poem and performed it. And she was actually a finalist in the competition that year. So it's a very, very good poem. And it matches, the reason I choose these poems is because they match with the themes that we read in the more literary, I don't know how to describe them, poems that I have you dissect during the week. So make sure you're watching those poems because they do help you understand the themes and get you ready to understand the themes in the poems that I actually want you to dissect and analyze for me. Okay. So this week we're focusing on another 4 words just like last week. This week they are denotation, which means a dictionary definition of a word. So for example, the dictionary definition of blue, the word blue, is that it's a color. And then connotation, which is the other word, And a lot of us missed this one on the pretest. Connotation is just the figurative meaning of a word. So if denotation is dictionary definition, literary, or literal definition, then connotation is figurative. Okay, so if blue is a color for the denotation, then for the connotation, the figurative meaning of blue is the feeling it evokes. So blue, when we think of a blue feeling, that is, it means sad, you know, and like if you're feeling blue, that's more of like a feeling you get from the word. It's more of a sad feeling than just the dictionary definition color. The next one was line. So if stanza we went over last week, so if stanza is the poem paragraph that is split up and you see spaces between the poem paragraph between the stanzas, then line is the literal line of words in those stanzas. It's like the sentence of a stanza. However, don't look at it as like, does this line end with a period to be a line? It just needs to be literal line of words. That's how you know it's a line. And then finally, simile. This should be a review. A lot of us got this one on the pretest. Simile is just a comparison using like or as. So it feels like a furnace outside when it's 90 degrees in Nebraska. I'm comparing the weather to a furnace. Even though the weather is not literally a furnace, we have that comparison. So this poem that you'll read, Still I Rise by Maya Angelou, has a lot of similes in it, so be on the lookout for those. And for English 4, this week we are delving a little bit into the Hunger Games. If we had been in class, I would actually have you read the Hunger Games. We'd do a lottery, we would separate into our districts, we would actually have a Hunger Games at the end of the semester with pool noodles and just go out on the football field, and it would be super fun. But unfortunately, we cannot do that. So we are just going to watch a clip from the Hunger Games this week, and you are going to compare and contrast the dystopian elements of that clip to the lottery. Because the Hunger Games got the reaping scene, which is the scene you're going to watch. This scene was inspired by the lottery by Shirley Jackson. So it's just another example of history, and like the reason why we're reading these old texts is because they influence a lot of modern day texts. And so I want you to be able to understand and identify those influences. And that's what your assignment is for this week.